Welcome to GCSE Maths Help. Today we're going to be looking at statistics and the key points you need to know for your exam. We'll be covering scatter diagrams, cumulative frequency, histograms and box plots. Let's get started. So to recap what we learnt in Key Stage 3, the range of data is the difference between the smallest and the largest values in your data. The mean is the average value of the data. The mode is the data value that was recorded the most frequently, and the median is the middle value. The interquartile range is the range between the first quarter of data and the third quarter of data. There are lots of different graphs we can use for representing data. Scatter graphs investigate the relationship between two variables. It has all the data plotted on the graph. If the two variables have a positive relationship, then as one variable increases, so does the other. If their relationship is negative, as one increases, the other decreases. A line of best fit through the middle of the points gives us a good representation of the relationship between the two variables. We can put our data in a frequency table like this one here. The data is split up into ranges, so to calculate statistics such as the mean, we need to use the midpoint of the range to help us out. We times this by the frequency in that range to give us an estimate of the values in that range. For example, here is some information about 20 trains leaving a station. Work out an estimate of the mean number of minutes late. So the first thing we're going to do is find the midpoint of the ranges. So between 0 and 5, the midpoint is 2.5 minutes. Between 5 and 10, the midpoint is 7.5 minutes. Between 10 and 15, the midpoint is 12.5 minutes. And then there were no trains that were more than 15 minutes late, so we'll leave the last one. So in order to calculate the mean, we need to times the frequency by the midpoint. So 12 times 2.5 is 30, 7 times 7.5 is 52.5, and 1 times 12.5 is 12.5. So usually to calculate the mean, you add up all of the values in your data and then divide by the number of values that there are. So we're going to do that with our calculations. We've got 30 plus 52.5 plus 12.5 divided by the 20 trains in our data. So we've got 95 divided by 20, so the mean number of minutes late is 4.75 minutes. So this graph is for cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency is the running total. You calculate it by adding the frequencies that have come before together. So when you get to the end of the line, it'll be the total amount of values in your data. So in this instance, it's 60 students. So along the bottom of the graph, you're going to have your variable, and up the side, it's the cumulative frequency number. So in order to draw the graph, we need to map out the cumulative frequency figure against the top end of the ranges in our data. So to calculate the cumulative frequency, we'll see how many students came in each range. So after the first range, we've got 9 students. Then we're going to add the 16 to make 25. Then after the next range, we've had 45 students. After the next range, we've got 53, and after the last range, we've got 60. So this number at the bottom should be the total number of students that took part in the test. So we're going to map 9, because that's the first value in the cumulative frequency, against 50. For 60, the top end of the next range, we're going to map out 25. 70 is going to be with 45, and then 53 will be plotted against 80, and 90 will be plotted against 60. So that's all of the students that took part. So to complete the graph, we can draw the curve through the points, ending at 60, the total number of students that took part. So to calculate statistics like the median, we can use the cumulative frequency to help us. So the median mark is going to be the 30th student, half of 60. So we can draw a line from 30 up to the line, and then we can see what mark that corresponds with. To do the interquartile range, we'll go from 20 and read the mark from our graph, and 40, which is the top half of the interquartile range, and read the mark from our graph. The next graph we're going to look at is histograms. Histograms look a bit like bar charts, but the area of each bar represents the data, so the bigger the bar, the more data in that category. The side of the graph will show frequency density, which is frequency divided by class width. So to draw this histogram, we're going to need a column for class width and we're going to need a column for frequency density. So the class width from 10 to 15 years is 5, from 15 to 25 is 10, from 25 to 40 is 15, and from 40 to 70 is 30. So to calculate frequency density, we're going to do 8 divided by 5, which is 1.6. We're then going to do 24 divided by 10, which is 2.4. Next, we're going to do 30 divided by 15, which is 2, and 39 divided by 30, which is 1.3. So then we can start to draw our graph. So the first range is from 10 to 15, and the frequency density is 1.6, which is up here. So that's going to be our first bar. The next range goes from 15 to 25, and the frequency density is 2.4, so that's going to be up there. So this is going to be our second bar. The next bar, the range is from 25 to 40, and the frequency density is 2. So that's this bar here. And then the next range is from 40 to 70, which is 1.3. So that's going to be this bit here, all the way to 70. So we can see from the histogram that the biggest bar is the 40 to 70 age range, which had the biggest frequency. The smallest bar is the 10 to 15 age range, which had the lowest frequency. So then last but not least, we've got a box plot. A box plot is a more visual way of showing the key points of the data. The box itself shows the interquartile range with the median line in the middle, and the arms outside the box show the range of the data. So here we've got the median time is 4 hours, so we'll draw that line here. The lower quartile is at 2 hours, so we can draw that line here. It says the interquartile range is 3 hours, so the upper quartile is going to be 5 hours. So that there is our box. So then to do the arms on the outside, the shortest time was 30 minutes. So we're going to put that about there, half of an hour. That can draw up here. And then the longest time was 12 hours. So we'll draw that line here and draw the line all the way up to there. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to have some practice at answering exam style questions on this topic, click the link in the bio below. Don't forget to subscribe to GCSE Maths Help with the subscribe button below, or you can check out my Instagram page at GCSE Maths Help for more videos and tips. Thanks for watching.